Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, The Twisted in the Twilight, where today we're starting on the diplomacy map here, just to make a point, just so that it's clear to everybody exactly what's happening. If you look at the key in the upper left there, it will make clear to you that these vast swaths of red on the map represent all of the places where the people who live there hate us and want us to die. So, you know, this is what the world looks like now. But what was I gonna do? Just not take over these magic trees? Ridiculous. That's not even really an option. So, we managed to get the Forest of Gloom pretty quickly up to 30 points of health. We'll probably be able to push past 60 in the next couple of turns. Keep in mind, there's still 3 more heaths to burn. There's this mission. Once the heaths are burned, we'll be at a positive rate of change here, and of course we're already working toward building the health building. But once we've burned all the heaths, we are just going to have to sit here. And we're going to have to sit here for a while and fend off enemies. Because it's not just enough to get the forest to 100 health. We have to get the forest to 100 health and then survive the entire Ritual of Rebirth, which takes like 8 turns, right? So, things are going well so far. Don't think we're out of the woods yet. I mean, I guess that's like a really inappropriate phrase to use in this circumstance. You know what I mean. We're definitely still in the woods. We've done everything in our power to make sure that's true. So, let's talk about these other heathlands. Cragmere, Carreg-Dromar, and Akandorf. Do we want to hit Akandorf right now? Adalbert Wagner, probably, maybe. Adalbert Wagner is mustering, so we have to expect that army to get bigger, and there are 16 units in there already. The thing is, we gotta have somebody moving north. I want to hit Cragmere and Carreg-Dromar before the Empire and the Dwarves have time to respond and move people into defensive position. So I'm assuming Otrolio probably... Yeah, he will not be able to underway move all the way over here in a single move. So what do we want to do with these two? And Phaonix probably has less movement even than he does. Yeah. So let's have these two... I guess just normal move into the edge of the forest here. Get our replenishment. And we could ambush mode them, I guess. I don't know that it's necessary, but we totally can. I guess the question is, do I think that there's a deterrent effect to us having 2 powerful visible armies in the area? That's actually a tough question. And then, do we want to march Dreicha and Orion over to Akandorf, or we could probably have these two underway move far enough north this turn. Yeah, we could get them through the mountains this turn and be hitting Dromar and Cragmere next turn. To be clear, there's no walkable path from this land over to Cragmere. We do actually have to underway all the way to there, so that's a little awkward. But I think I do want that to be Orion and Dreicha's job because their armies are more powerful. Oh, we do have Tuduthis as well. Maybe we split up. Maybe Dreicha and Tuduthis go north and Orion pushes Akandorf. Do I think he can pull that by himself?
Master of the Wild Hunt.
I mean, his army's pretty cavalry heavy, so they're not actually great at fighting settlements. At least the Zotes and the Tree Men can punch through a door, you know? Neither one of these is a great siege army, frankly. Tuduthis, on the other hand, should be totally fine for this purpose. Alright, let's have... You're both missing units, too. It'd be really nice to have a turn to pull you back in here and have you recruit. But like I said, I don't think we want to give our enemies the time to figure stuff out. I'm gonna have Orion head north by himself, and Dreicha and Tuduthis are going to take Akandorf. I think that's how we're going to manage this. And you are going to grab this event on the way out there. The Vale of Webs is home to enormous spiders. They are part of the natural ecosystem, but have an irritating tendency to attract green-skinned spider cultists. You could exploit this to your advantage by channeling the magic generated by those spider shamans, and even send them false visions from their spider gods to manipulate them. However, unsurprisingly, the tree spirits instead want to see the greenskins purged, because the tree spirits hate all living things that are not a tree. I am, I think, pretty happy. Boy, minus 10 leadership for all tree units is a little bit of a bummer. But abundant growth doesn't actually affect the level of health. I think we want to skip fighting here. I think we'll just manipulate them and the trees will have to be mad at us. Okay. Maybe I'm changing my mind. Maybe Akandorf is not a safe play right now. So we can only see, because he's in underway mode, we can only see what his underway movement looks like. We can't see how far they'd be able to walk if they changed movement modes. I think we're gonna march mode your ass back over to the garrison. And maybe Dreicha moves to defend you now? Because I do not want to be caught out in the open against 2 dwarf armies. And these are reasonably well built. They have giant slayers, so this is the good dwarf anti-large unit. There's really only the one. And I mean, of course, shooting large things is always effective. But we have to be a little leery of giant slayers. They are definitely scary. And of course, you know, organ guns and stuff. In field battles, their artillery is going to be a lot more meaningful than it was in that siege battle. So do we move Dreicha to defend Orion or to defend Caduthus? I think we go this way. Here, let's play defense on this dude. But that means you can't be recruiting, and you really should be recruiting. Alright, I'm going to sit in the open in muster. They may or may not be able to reach us. I guess we'll find out. I'm hoping not. Listen, dwarves they're not the fastest moving creatures on Earth. Yeah, I think this is the plan for this turn. Alright, what do we want to do in the Forest of Gloom? Nothing, everything's still building. And we can't build anything of value here, right? Yeah, everything we don't have requires kindred except for undergrowth lookouts, which I have no value to us. Oh, you know what? It does provide war dancers for the garrison. I didn't realize that this provided a garrison unit. Yeah, okay, build that. That is in fact worth having. Alright, we're 4 turns off of the sisters being able to teleport up here, and boy, I cannot wait. The sisters should probably... Oh, did we move them here this turn? I guess we must have. Okay, well, next turn we'll move them into a stance where they can replenish, and we'll get their army refilled. Alright, I guess let's see what happens. Now remember, winning battles around the forest is good for forest health, so we may well be able to speed the process up by killing enemies, watering the soil of the forest with their blood. Listen, Warhammer elves are pretty metal. Everything that happens in Warhammer is fairly metal, but the elves, I think, really benefit from this. Yep, and now every force in the world is going to be able to really focus on me. I am now the bad guy, so they're all going to unite over their hatred of the Wood Elves. But listen, they weren't being nice enough to the trees. Again, what was I supposed to do? So, Karl Franz is going to burn down that. Yeah, that's whatever. If that keeps you over there away from the forest, I am fine with it. And boy, it sure did keep a lot of people over there. Yo, look at the number of units. God, I sure hope these guys don't all start running west. We're not that far away from this stuff. I mean, this is where Orion was. Okay, they are going for it. So, we do not get a very friendly auto-resolve on this one. We have a crappy settlement garrison. See, this is what's supposed to happen when you take a settlement. The garrison, like, powers up over time. They start completely depleted. So this is going to be ugly, but if we win this battle, it's probably a lot of forest health. And if the army just survives this battle, then we are in real good position to replenish a whole bunch. And if the army survives this battle, that's a big if, though. Terrain looks remarkably unfriendly. I hate this. Would they get to start completely in a forest and we get to start almost completely in the open? So Karazakarak is bringing It's a lot of hammerers, a couple of units of giant slayers, a lot of those grenade guys. We do have some dryads available who come out of the forest to defend us. We also have... That's not helpful. Reinforcements Heralds of Ariel is no information at all. Yes, I know that that's my reinforcements. I wish I knew whether this was the full army or the garrison, and, you know, like... That's crucial information. Alright, so... We gotta make some decisions here. We don't know where they're going to set up. They have some very dangerous direct fire weaponry. I think we're going to take full advantage of our ability to Vanguard deploy, and we're all going to deploy as far forward as possible. I want to fight them in the trees, I think. Oh man, do I? I'm worried about their direct fire weaponry, but the fact is, blow for blow, their melee capability is dozens of times greater than ours. Like, it's going to be really, really ugly. We need to be able to take advantage of all of our armor-piercing bows. So we need to fight in a position where the unevenness of the landscape is going to be a problem for their guns, but where we don't have trees constantly blocking our shots. So I guess we just have to pull their attention over here? This is gonna be ugly. This is what I was worried about. The trees can start over here, all stealthed in the trees. Taduthus himself, I suppose, does the same. And then, again, I really, really need to know which reinforcement point is which. The fact that we don't know is going to make this so much more difficult. Okay, so how did they set up? They set up way over there with the intention of being able to use their organ guns against us. So we need to quickly make it into the tree cover. Let us not allow any of the nonsense that they're going for here. Obviously, this is extremely bad, though, because now one of our reinforcements is going to be completely cut off for us, and they're just going to get to kill that force for free, basically. I need to see the reinforcements. Okay, so this is information. Which side are you on? Okay, it's the full stack is coming in over here. That's the garrison army. That's... And then they have a full army's worth of troops emerging in this corner. So our best possible move then, I guess, is that we just press them, like, quickly. We bring in these guys like this and these guys like this as quickly as possible, shoot them in the back a lot, and just, like, make their lives hell immediately. You guys have to get over here as fast as you can get over here. And then we try to... The thing is, against most forces, what I would try to do is kill as many of them as possible quickly, so that we're not fighting 40 versus 40. But with dwarves, there's no killing them quickly. All of these units have an incredible amount of health and like 150 armor. So what we're going to do instead is squeeze these guys, hope to do some leadership damage, fail to do the leadership damage, because dwarves just don't take leadership damage. And then their other army is going to hit us in the side, and it's going to be more or less a fair fight. And all of it's going to be conducted in the open. So that means that getting rid of their guns, getting rid of their organ guns, is an even higher priority than it would ordinarily be. But I do think that that's right. I do think that we do not legitimately, because our reinforcements are coming in from such a funny angle, which they shouldn't be. By the way, that's the position of your armies on the world map is supposed to determine the angle of your reinforcement approaches. And he attacked an army that had another one of our armies directly behind it. So that army should be coming in from behind. But it's fun. Like, this is what we have to deal with. So over here, this is a little bit awkward. So these two units of cavalry that came in early. And I guess their move has to be like, get to here. We could try to have them charge the organ guns, but pretty intelligently, they've swamped the organ guns with giant slayers. These are the big anti-large units. These things will cut our wild riders to pieces, like, immediately. So I think we just have to draw as much of their melee forward as possible and then try to annihilate the organ gun crews with our flying units. I think that's going to be my move. And Dreicha charges over here. It is possible that we will just lose this battle horribly. And I do want to make clear that I don't think that we're doomed if that happens, in a campaign sense. It's not going to be good, though. Do we want to just pull up a unit of Dryads? I kind of don't want to just drop Dryads on their siege crew right now, because I think if we do that, the Dryads just get killed immediately. We want to wait till most of their guys are distracted, and then do that thing. So let me control group you all. I don't know what the right approach is, because it's so easy for our flying units to get shot down. And I don't really know that there's a way around that problem. I guess come over here? And again, we're going to have the classic problem where, like, it is insane, especially after all this time, that the way you command reinforcements has to be, like, super piecemeal. You have to wait for them to come in. Like, either the whole of the reinforcement army needs to be available to give orders to immediately, and then they just don't start acting on those orders until they reach the map, or something. It's crazy that you have to, like, if you want to issue good reinforcement orders, you have to grab a new unit every 2 seconds for the entirety of the beginning of the battle. Alright, so you two just run forward. Glade Riders try to get out here. Yep, and here comes the organ guns. If we get them to move enough that the organ gun crews are not 100% protected by dwarves, then we can summon Dryads on them. But, like, yeah, right now our Dryads would just get chopped to pieces instantly, right? Quickly. Wow, that did no damage at all. That sucks. Alright, they got cannons and stuff coming in. Cannons are bad news. Alright. I'm going to have the dragons go right for them. The dragons, at least, should be able to stand up to a little bit of fighting, and they moved the giant slayers off, so I'm gonna take this as an opportunity. Alright, so you got orders already. You guys are all marching as fast as you can. We have Sisters of the Thorn over here, who got where they're going really quickly. They're very good at their job. Very good at their job of doing stuff fast. Alright. The cavalry all have to be, like, exceedingly careful for the moment until the melee troops have joined a little bit better. And alright, so we've led here. Remember, one of our armies is in march mode, so unfortunately they're exceedingly tired. Let's get some poison out. Poison on the Longbeards with the great weapons. The Hammerers are not... I'm not so worried about. The Hammerers have a little bit less damage potential, but their deal is, they're extremely good against armor. The way our troops defend themselves is not mostly their armor. It's mostly through having high melee defense. Let's just make sure, though, that all of our initial guys here have some meet and fight orders. Try to keep the enemies more or less in place. I would love to kill these units of Giant Slayers. If the Giant Slayers are not used carefully, they do die very quickly because they have very little armor. So our hope is going to be that we can make that happen. That we can just kill them fast, and then that's going to make our trees much, much safer. Much less likely to get chopped down by axes. Alright, so I got the dragons coming in over here. We don't... you know what? Go ahead and open with this. What's the duration on this? It's pretty long, right? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and hit this right now. Just cast it right there on top of those guys. And then... definitely run away. And it might even be fine to put up Dryads. Like, we gotta get rid of this siege crews quickly. Are these cannons moving? It's hard to tell, but given their angle, I think they're moving. If they were set up and trying to fight, I might swamp them, but... Maybe we should give it a second, let these troops... No, you know what? These troops are already all ranged. Let's just summon Dryads right on top of them. This will at least distract them and keep them from firing for a second. Get them. Get the archers. Alright, poison and ranged weapons. These giant slayers in the side. Alright, dragons are doing dragon stuff.
Children of Apple
Keep moving, keep moving.
We grow restless.
Alright, now that the dwarves are sort of joining battle here, I want to hit them in the side. Come on, break away from those guys. Yeah, wow, look at one of our units of dudes just got mulched immediately. Alright, do not let these dwarves determine the pace of the battle. We are in charge. That's gotta be the case, because if it's not, we're in, like, terrible danger. Alright, let's talk about this stuff. So the Hawks are giving us good, very, very valuable vision of the enemy reinforcements coming in from the side. We broke one of the cannon crews, and we badly damaged the other one. I think we probably want to disengage these dragons now. We might be able to get these dragons to just move directly over here and drop on the cannon crew without letting those cannon crews have the ability to really do anything about it. We got big trees. That's just a unit of iron breakers. I mean, those guys are not bad at fighting large units, but they're certainly no giant slayers. They're throwing those big grenades, which sucks, but what are you going to do? So we have 4 malevolent tree men. Let's send 2 of them like this. See, that summoned unit of dryads actually was just defeated straight up in melee combat by the archers. I mean, it is 4 units of them. And then you have Lamentation of Despairs, and of course you have your big fancy Pit of Shades, a huge stationary area of effect. I'm going to try to run you more this way, and then this is Drycha. Drycha can sort of fight. But let's have Drycha move this way too. We'll keep the 2 wizards together for the moment. I have no idea how this unit of Iron Breakers is this deep in our formation. We could probably do something about that, though. I guess part of the question is, do I want to break... Yeah, let's break these 2 cavalry units off. Nope, just the 2 cavalry units. There we go. Hit these guys in the back. I have no idea what they're doing over here, but don't let them do that. With whatever it is, I'm not a fan. And let's try to get some more spellcasting done. And also from our Lord. Our Lord has a little bit of magic that might be relevant in this case. Now, the damage spells, like Flock of Doom, I'm expecting to do functionally nothing. Dwarves are too tough and too resistant to magic. But Wissen's Wild Form is still a perfectly sensible buff to put up. Alright, and then of course we have all the debuffs that we can apply. So let's make sure that somebody is working these giant slayers. If we can remove those giant slayers, it's real good. And Treemen... Yeah, honestly, Treemen, just go kill that lord. Just go step on him a lot. Alright, we have a lord of our own over here who can help break these iron breakers. Those are Wildwood Rangers who, I guess, I'm having charge the iron breakers. Actually, that's probably a bad idea. Let's have you back up a little bit, actually. If we try to run directly at those iron breakers, we're just going to catch a huge number of grenades directly in the face. We can play it a little bit slower and safer over here. Okay, let's make sure the buffs are coming out. Needs to get closer before the leadership penalty makes any sense. This is a good time for you guys to run.
Yes, at speed. With haste.
Nope, keep going, keep going. Yeah, this dragon has been completely swamped by dwarves. Okay, I think we're going to get off the ground. So you guys have to, I don't know, get over here, I guess. We'll try to keep this dragon in the fight if we can. It takes a really long time for... Oh, no, why would you break and run... When units break and run, they're supposed to go away from the thing that scared them. I'm not sure why this dragon felt that the opposite was the smart play. Let's just volley some randos over here. Alright, that's working. Sisters need to keep moving. Okay. That's pretty good damage. We got a lot of stuff going on over here. Our Lord is close enough to start using abilities, so... Leadership drop in this situation is probably not terribly meaningful. This unit of Wildwood Rangers is certainly dead. This is just Longbeards? Oh, these are even less good than Longbeards. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely send some Dwarf Warriors over here. Let's get poison into the Hammerers. That unit of Giant Slayers is really surviving, and I don't like it very much at all, but there's only so much I can do. Alright, you haven't taken any damage yet. I mean, we may as well throw this out, because it's free. I certainly wouldn't spend any Winds of Magic on a spell like that in this situation. Alright, you guys do this. Got a couple of big tree men who need to report to this front. This is the most dangerous part of the battle, where they have these guys coming up through the trees that we don't have good control over yet, and we're doing okay against the Iron Breakers, but we do need somebody. Oh boy, Dreicha's gotten grabbed. I mean, these are just Longbeards. Dreicha can probably beat some Longbeards. Do we want to give her an assist? Like, that might be an okay thing to use a unit of Summon Dryads for. These Way Watchers should probably be trying to get out of the trees, because, you know, blocking. I guess I could have you guys come over here and just rain death on these Longbeards. Yeah, it's not real safe to move the Hawks forward in the situation we're in, so I guess that makes sense. These guys are not broken, but they will break. I'm going to have you lot separate out, and we're just going to make sure we're focusing on them, mostly with ranged units for the moment. And the dragon that went over here to attack the cannon crew was pursued by a unit of Iron Breakers, who have immediately set upon it. That's a shame. And we've also got multiple ranged units. The secondary army of theirs has a lot of ranged units in it. Yeah, the Dryads basically are not going to make a difference anywhere. No matter where we apply them, all they're going to do is get immediately killed, it seems like. So, I guess what they can do is, this. We can use them to stop this unit from chasing, while we continue to work the other units, and then the cav will hit them in a second. Okay. I like that. I like a lot of that version of that thing. Alright, so hopefully we'll break these guys down. Doing a remarkably bad job of surviving this fight. Alright, actually we don't need you to hit those dwarves. That was my plan. I guess hit these dwarves? Got a lot of archery going on over here. Alright, great big trees. Just doing great big tree stuff. As you would hope. Alright, here we have a bunch of dwarves who actually are wavering. I don't know why you guys are so far forward, but you shouldn't be. A unit that low, we can break those guys with a couple of volleys, probably. Alright, how is this thing going? Is that dragon getting anything done? You know what? Sort of. It looks like the dragon... I don't see the cannons over here. If that unit had broken and run, I would expect the cannons, the actual physical cannons, to still be laying down. It must have been this unit. Okay. So, those guys got away. But we could probably... I have to be super careful about committing the Hawk Riders, because there's like 15 units of archers in the trees. But obviously, they're pretty well suited to dealing with the cannons. If we have them do it from this side, we might be able to get something done. We might be losing a dragon, though. Speaking of the dragon, this one probably needs to disengage.
Ride them down!
Alright, quickly, before the Dwarven archers have a chance to catch up. Alright, so we are losing, but not, like, badly. They're definitely beating us. So, Deepwood Scouts, here's a situation where I think our Dryads should be, pretty useful. We have a tree man over here who should be able to just run at... Gosh, we're so close to breaking a bunch of these Dwarven units. I guess just run at their lord. That's fine. It's not exciting, but it's fine. And then let's have this whole group of Deepwood Scouts really focus in on the Iron Breakers that are approaching. With the extremely high amount of armor-piercing damage we have, we should be able to prevent them from staying in the battle for very long. Iron Breakers are dangerous long beyond their grenades running out. They're actually real scary units. And good against armor, disrupts formation, strong versus multiple units. We're going to try doing this. It may just mulch the Dryads that we set up, but my hope is our Dryads will help to keep the archers in it, rather than just having them run out. And then this unit of Watchers, man, we still got so many dwarves. They're just fucking everywhere. Alright, Drycha is winning that battle. I guess you guys have to shoot at these units over here. Nope. When I right-click on an enemy unit, that means attack, not move to. And we have all of this stuff that we can now pull in. We have broken those enemy units. Okay, so, you lot. Also keep in mind, we have more than 40 units for this battle, but you can only have 40 units on the field at a time. So, as our units get defeated or get run off, we will see more stuff enter the battlefield. Unfortunately, it will enter the battlefield late and out of position, and at a time when army morale is lessened considerably. So it's certainly not ideal. Let's see about this. Okay, well that is having very little effect on those dwarves. That's no fun. Alright, third big volley. Yeah, that didn't do anything, really. Dwarves are too magic resistant. Okay, well that was better than before. I don't think it's a good idea for us to pull back the Eagles. I think the Eagles gotta stay in. We just have to survive this. There's not a huge number of archers shooting at them. Hopefully that'll make that sensible. What is this? That's a move speed thing. You don't need a potion of healing just yet. Let's have you focus on their lord. You guys also focus on their lord. Again, it's just like, it's a huge number of very, very badly damaged dwarf units who are not going to give up under any circumstance. Like, we are actually going to have to kill every single one of them individually. Here, we could go some dragon breath. Did the other dragon get out? No, the other dragon's off of the bar, so. Alright, well, dead dragon. Okay, hopefully these guys are about done. So if Drycha focus this way, we have the ability to cause enemies not to move. Yeah, this stuff's not super relevant. Try to keep those guys out of the way watchers if possible. And we got more melee coming up. Yeah, the fact that we're fighting on every side really hurts. Like, it's so hard for me, a human being, to keep up with what's going on when we're fighting in this many different directions. Oof, the Eagles are suffering. Alright, fall back, fall back. We're just not getting the damage that we need on those cannons. What is this unit over here? Okay, there's a single unit of Wildwood Rangers near their archers. I assume we retreated in tandem there, which works just fine for me, actually. Okay, let's get the Eagles over here. We can do some damage to their ranged stuff, hopefully force it back.
Sound the horn!
kill those guys. That's a pretty solid volley. Yeah, the armor-piercing bows were definitely the right move. Alright, we're breaking a lot of this forward stuff. The Eagles are at about a third ammunition. I'm gonna have the Eagles post up over here. So it looks like they are having a hard time keeping their, cannons safe, even with the amount that things have withdrawn. Like, we're still doing a lot of damage to the cannons, and in fact, we broke one there. Alright, they're starting to have serious leadership problems. I think they're going to break. I think they're going to give up. Now remember, this is a field battle, and they were the aggressors, so a loss here does not wipe them out. Their units will fall back off of the battlefield, but horribly injured, but still alive, and that could be a problem for us in the future. What is still fighting? They have a couple of things that aren't breaking, I assume. This is why the battle's still going on. Okay, there it is. Oof. Boy, what an extremely harsh battle. We're just going to do a little bit of hunting. Why can I not tell you to attack that? There we go. But try to make sure I actually wipe out some of these low health escaping units. Because they're dwarves, they don't run as fast as we do. We should be able to catch up and volley. We very, very much want whole units gone. And it kind of doesn't even matter what they are, just make sure we're getting stuff. Dragon can probably catch some guys. That Rune Lord, there's no way we kill him. We're probably not getting anybody else before they get off the table. But we gotta at least try to finish off a couple units. I know what that is, but... Oh, that's one of the units of Malevolent Dryads that had been summoned and for some reason hasn't broken down yet. I will hold those things in place while we do this. Here come these final volleys. Oh, there's still 32 dwarves alive in that unit. We're not going to get them. We did wipe out... No, we didn't. We're close, though. We can get these guys. I am confident of that. Yeah, especially since they can't run anymore, because they kind of ran into the Dryads. Half of them died in that volley. Up, down to 4. It's tough, because we're shooting like through our own units and over a hill and through trees. But we're still making contact. Everybody get them. We can do this. We can do this. There's a single Longbeard still running. There he is. Hey guys, just like turn around and fight him. Stop running alongside him and turn around and fight. Just keep him still. There we go. That's kind of, he's real slippery. I guess he's covered in a lot of blood. Alright. A close victory, they say. We definitely sustained a lot of damage there. But keep in mind, it's about to be the beginning of our turn, so we're going to get a big burst of replenishment, and these guys are still going to be in terrible shape. So we should be able to chase them down. It looks like we probably lost our entire front line. Wow, one of the Wildwood Ranger units got 250 kills. Yep, all the Way Watchers just doing excellent work. These guys not getting a lot of kills, but, you know, that's not what their job was. Overall, I think that went okay. And you can see, like, this is a problem that your army has if your leadership is very, very high. If we were to lose a battle, to the degree that they just lost a battle, we'd come out of it in much better shape. Because our units flee earlier, and they're better at fleeing. They're, you know, faster moving, they don't get slowed by forests. The fact that the dwarves are so tough means that it is hard to beat and break them, but when they lose a battle, they lose almost everything. Whereas we would be in a position to maybe run away and survive to some degree. I'm definitely going to take replenishment. Just as much as we can get here. And then hopefully that'll be all the surprises that the dwarves have for us this turn. Yep, and they got armies running fast through the mountains. Okay, and we didn't lose any characters or anything. That's real good. We did lose a bunch of melee, but they were low rank melee, and they're... I hate to be mercenary, but they are replaceable. It's going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of turns of that kind of thing. Yep, here come all of the border princes. I mean, after we take Akandorf, we can try to get peace. They probably won't give it to us. But maybe they'll be so embarrassed by their sequence of losses that they'll think it's a good idea. I guess you could attack these guys now, but they're just running through friendly territory.
I will not obey.
Okay, you could take a character out, though.
There can be no vanity.
Can we remove this guy? Most likely.
I will show them true valor.
And obviously he deserves it. He's a dog burglar. Alright, finally maxed you out. You get Arcane Conduit, which is awesome. It was a good time for it. That Pit of Shade spell is probably going to be real good against humans. It's tough to make use of it right now, but the dwarves are just a huge pain in the ass. Scent of Blood is probably not totally appropriate. Boy, what do I want? Do I want to just push red? His army doesn't actually have a lot of people who would benefit from the later buffs. Are these... Okay, these are bronze, not gold. So yeah, the later red line buffs are not actually a huge priority for him. Plus melee attack for everybody around. You know what? Let's go for that. So I think it's Otrolio and Phaonix that are going to push forward and punish the dwarves for that attack. This guy managed to retreat to a position that is outside all reinforcement ranges, so that's interesting. Where's the forest at now? We pushed it up to 44. We actually did not get any health. Well, I guess we didn't get any health this turn from the battles. It's not reporting things in the most useful way. Orion's turn is really simple and straightforward. Just burn Carreg Dromar. Nope. I have the hero selected, not the army. There we go. And then he'll be the one, I guess, who goes to Cragmere as well. I mean, obviously his army is very powerful in combat, but that's kind of why I want them up here, because I don't know what defenses to expect. I would love to spend time just fixing these two armies, the two that just engaged in that battle. We got a lot of our health back, but certainly nowhere near all of it. And the thing is, if we attack these guys right now, they're just going to run, right? And if we attack the dwarves, the forces of Akandorf will show up and help. But neither of you quite have the movement range for the thing we really need to do. Alright, well, come over here and attack. This dwarf army will just back up. Oh, or they won't. And we'll take a free... Why would they not run? Strange move. Okay. So now I'm going to have Otrolio go straight for Akandorf. I don't know if we're going to attack it, but he's going to put it under siege. Let's pretend that we're going to build a ram or something. He's going to put it under siege because now Akandorf can't provide reinforcements for Tecton Deepbrow. And I think we do have to come out here and fight. I expect he runs. Nope, the dwarves will just never run. Okay, well. Let's chomp these dudes up real good. And then, does she have the movement to get... She does. Cool, great. Alright, in friendly territory, you only need to have any movement left at all to do replenishment, or to do recruitment. So that's real good news. We got stand your ground already. Does she have stuff? Yes, almost all of her stuff is super high level, so we definitely want more red line. Are the Zotes on Shield of the Forest? Or, oh, actually, maybe, oh no, here they go, here they are. Yeah, let's pick up Swift and Sturdy. Cavalry, Zotes, Sisters of the Thorn, Hawk Riders. So pretty much just the Zotes that we're buffing there, but 4 units of them. It's not nothing. And she just falls back. Actually, do we have enough of an advantage here that a Trollio can just auto-resolve this battle? We could. It's probably best we don't, I guess. So if we're gonna do this, we actually don't want to bring 3 armies. I'm gonna back Dreicha out of here. Because if we bring 3 armies, the way it'll do that is it will include our entire first army and then the front half of both of the other reinforcement armies, despite the fact that that is always the worst way to do that. And then you need to refill a little bit. I might just go... Can we make it back to the settlement for global? No. Okay, so I might just do, like, Dryads or something. Or, honestly, maybe it would be better to get 2 more units of Poison Archers in here. Does Dreicha have a lot of the Dryad buffing skills? Yeah. We don't have Piercing Thorns, but we do have Skewering Branch. She's the one who has Mantra of the Fallen, so... The thing is, we don't really need units whose job it is to run up and punch things in the back. We need units whose job it is to stand and fight, so that the Zotes can run up and punch things in the back. So for the moment, we'll just grab these. And then Taduthis can use the other recruitment slot to do basically the same thing. Oh no, hold on. Taduthis has a huge amount of movement left. He can just go into the forest and pull through the global pool and get everything. So I think we're just gonna get 3 units of Wildwood Rangers, right? So replace our losses exactly, because it seemed to be a pretty reasonable fighting force. Okay, and then, yeah, let's do this. Let's resolve this manually. I think we should be able to win this. So they have 3 units of mortars, which is a problem. They have a lot of guns. Holy shit, they have a lot of guns. Alright, I think we can do it, though. And if they leave us in too grim of a position, we may have to just sack the place and run away, because it might not be wise to leave our army in position for an entire turn to do the raising. But obviously... Sure would be nice if we could burn this thing down. And then we'll go to them and we'll ask if they want peace, because they just got embarrassed real badly and lost a bunch of units, and they'll say no, almost certainly, because they want revenge. But wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we could just get one of the major forces of this this conflict off of our back? We don't need to be at war with the dwarves anymore either, because we did burn all of the heaths that they control, but I mean, they're not gonna... Holding grudges is a cultural strength in their eyes, so they're definitely not going to just give up. Actually, can we get these guys all the way in the corner? Again, we got some dead zones, and we're going to take advantage of them. Some of these units do not really want to be in the fight immediately. This is probably a case where we're going to go up the wall instead of trying to go through the gates, because obviously there's only a single gate, and it's really well defended. All of the towers are in good position to be an annoyance on that. Alright, did we leave anybody over there? Ah. Yeah, let's just do this. Same thing as last time, we're putting the whole army on one side to draw enemy units to that side so that they will not... Boy, this is wild, huh? So I'm trying to move forward in this formation, and if we get a little bit too close to anything, they spread out into this weird formation that's incredibly unsafe, given the towers. Okay, I guess try to move forward like that, and I'll fix your nonsense in a second. Do not trade blows with them right now. Solid shooting there, guys. Okay, so, again, really frustrating movement nonsense. So because they have so many units of guns, I presume they're going to staff the wall entirely with gunners. That would be a reasonably smart move. And so we probably are going to want to be way more aggressive with just having our good melee units charge the wall and get up there and fight. They do have a Witch Hunter on the wall, which is a solid melee unit. And we're going to deal with that by shooting it. A lot. Many times. Right, that's... yeah, the positions I gave them are totally safe, and in fact we can even fan out a little wider. I'm really worried about the eagles being super easy to shoot down, so I wanted to make sure other stuff were in range first. And now we can volley, once we're clear of the tower here, although they move in such a way that this tower absorbs a lot of the fire anyway. Okay, well we pushed them back. That's something. A bunch of these units over here don't have formal move forward orders yet because, like I said, the way this game manages reinforcements is like crazy to me.
Protector of the forest.
You can just stay right here and pick at them if you want. Alright, the ladders are hitting the wall. As soon as we have control of the box behind this tower, all of a sudden... oh, right, the damn mortars. And of course they have 7 units of guns around the mortars and all of these pikes. We're not going to be able to stop the mortars. We have no counterplay for that. I would often use my own siege weapons to fire back at them, but Wood Elves don't have siege weapons. And anything we fly over there is just going to get killed instantly. So we might be able to, if we're careful about it, move the dragon in over the buildings and then do a dragon breath and hope that that will accomplish something. But realistically, we're just going to take huge losses to the mortars and there's no way to do anything about it. I think a lot of us are going to go over the wall here. I certainly don't want to try to go through the gate with them having this many units of halberds. They'll just block the gate forever, even if we do break the door open. You know what? I'm going to try some stuff. Let's get Phaonix in here and harass them as best we can. Oh, these guys are facing the wrong direction. I was going to be like, well, we got to be careful to avoid their firing arc, but apparently not.
I will comply. Moving.
What, just... oh. Target is too close. Okay, and then she just gets way closer to those ones before firing. Makes sure that she's going to be as vulnerable to these handgunners as possible.
Orders understood.
Yeah, but she's taken... wow, she took a lot of damage from very little fire there. We can try to do some poison breath over here, but I'm, like... given what we just saw, I am concerned that we're just going to lose those units immediately. Alright. Push up, push up, push up. So, we have another unit... I am leery of running across the tower's line of fire to put up more ladders. What I would really like to see is that tower get taken. We have a lot of units that just can't participate in this battle. On this side, however, we can do some stuff. So, Wildwood Rangers, I mean, let's commit hard to the wall in a bunch of locations. Let's really, like, fan out and take the whole thing. They can shoot at us from inside the wall, which is not awesome, but we need to have a way of threatening their gunners that is a little bit more resilient than, like, a dragon. Something that is not countered by the gunners themselves, you know? And then we have some Sisters of the Thorn, who the best they're going to be able to do is get close to the wall and provide magic support. And a tree man who, like I said, doesn't really want to punch through the door because there's no benefit to doing so. This is a little awkward. Yeah, I guess we're going to try to get the dragon over here and see if we can't do something. I'm also going to give a little bit of support to our poor endangered units. Having a vigor replenishment for units that are climbing walls is super valuable because climbing ladders is it costs a lot. It's very expensive in terms of vigor. And I'm going to just physical resistance my whole army because we're just going to have to withstand a lot of mortar fire. We can separate out the units that do not have to stand in a decent firing position a little bit. I don't want them to go too far, but yeah, we could like back up all of these guys just to minimize the value that they're getting out of their mortar fire. Boy, there's just like a huge unpathable area right here. They should fix this map. It is broken a little. There's a huge invisibly unpathable area. Poor Glade Guard. Okay, so they're going to try to get some halberds up on the wall. I'm fine with that. They're not going to be successful in making that a safe place for their units to stand. Yeah, try to breathe fire, I guess, on these mortars. We'll get a fair number of units that way. And you are just going to turn around and harass these guys. Because how dare they? I'm not too worried about the mortars. Or the halberds. The halberds we will just beat straight up in combat. And we have support fire for them and stuff. Hasn't actually breathed the breath yet. There it goes. Okay, you got some damage in, and then now the fire is starting. Now we can use a dragon. You can use a large unit to counter enemy anti-large on a wall. You just got to make sure the enemy anti-large has committed to battle first. But I think it's way more sensible to use the dragon to do this thing. Alright, well, let me make sure that these units have orders. We don't want people just standing around. We want to be pushing the walls, right? I guess you may as well go get that. Oh, they're starting to take control of the towers, though. So maybe don't run across all of the tower stuff there. You should back up. These units are getting, like, manhandled. It's brutal. This tower is doing horrifying things to us. You should go like that. You should probably, like, all of the units should be in range to do stuff. And this is probably an okay time for our one-off Curse of Anraher. Okay, yeah, I have no concerns at all about the wall. We are going to win the wall. This part I'm a little more concerned about because they're getting to rotate fresh units in and they have a character over here, so let's make sure that we are continuing to put up reasonable buffs up here. Seems like you guys could use a little bit of a push. I mean, we got poisons coming out and everything. Let's... Do we want to fly the Hawks in? They still have a lot of handgunners guarding their stuff. I want to try to get the... we can maybe run the Hawks in like this. I want to do volleys on the mortar crews, obviously. It's just a thing we have to be a little careful about. So our units are rearranging as best they can. One thing about mortars is that they have very, very low accuracy, so while they're incredibly powerful, their use is a little random. And I think we've been getting pretty lucky on this front so far. Oh, get out of their firing arc quickly. Yeah, alright, you're doing it, you're doing it. I think we've been getting pretty lucky on that. It seems like the mortars are missing us a lot. Come on. Hit him and get out of there. Oh, what? This building is way taller than it... The collision of that building is way greater than the vision of the visual representation of it. I mean, maybe you can harass these guys a little bit. I would love to break those dudes, if we can. Okay, so we've got control of a couple of the towers. We need to figure out exactly how we want to press that. So we got some Way Watchers up on the wall. I want these guys down on the ground as quickly as possible, preferably facing the correct direction. They ran a second unit of handgunners into the Forest Dragon instead of shooting at it, which I would describe as a huge mistake. But I don't know, man. Maybe they got a plan. So down here we got some great swords and some swordsmen. Like, I will put our elf melee troops up against their stuff. No problem. I don't have any concerns about that. I am a little worried about the mortars part of it, though. If they are able to mortar us while we are doing that, it's going to turn out real poorly. And we still have multiple units of halberds just standing at the gate, so I don't feel comfortable trying to run the large units through that yet. Oh, you know what? Crows will actually be useful here. Can we get crows on the people on the wall and that unit? We sure can. We also have the ability to summon a unit of Deepwood Scouts, which I totally forgot about. Alright, crows are doing good work. Eagles are doing good work. Let's go for a big heal. And then a bigger heal on one of them. Alright, we should push them back here. I don't think this should end up being a problem. We are, unfortunately, in a real bad place as far as the number of enemy archers goes. Or the number of enemy gunners goes. But I don't really have a plan for that. I don't have a way of dealing with that. We're starting to sustain a lot of fire. We need to back out. Good work was done, though. And they did manage to permanently break a unit. We're taking some minor damage from some archers. It looks like, actually, the dragon is 100% cool to just stay down here and keep wreaking havoc. The only unit of halberds that's anywhere nearby is already pretty beat up. Let's have a couple of these units of Wildwood Rangers get off the wall. It doesn't really benefit us to stay on the wall. Like, we want to get on, get over, and then get off. So, we could probably do the same thing with most of these units of archers at this point. Let's just have everybody move to the wall. I believe they will fan out and find their own individual... Oh, I have not been arcane conduiting. I believe they will fan out and find their own individual ladders rather than all trying to clamber up that one. But this is looking okay. Parts of this are going all right. We do need to keep casting over here. Oh, I totally forgot about the Pageant of Shrikes. Yeah, shrike those guys. Screw them. Have my little birds swoop in and steal all of their bullets. Alright, we do have a volley again. I'm going to come back over here and we're going to try this. And we're going to do it right here. In a place where the buildings are not going to be a problem. Okay, the strikes have done some work. I don't really want to rely on damage spells too much, but there's no sense not casting the crows. Let's volley these guys real quick and then get out of here. Okay, that was fine. Actually, I don't know that we do need to get out of here. I think they've committed enough of their stuff, enough of their ranged units deeply enough that we're not really in a lot of danger. Oh, except for these guys who could get chopped. We could chop those guys. Do I want to... Well, let's do this. And then I think we may have our Lord land and fight those dudes. So we have melee going after the archers. Let's make sure that we are pushing down the side streets. We need control of these side streets. Huh. There we go. Why can't I issue an attack order? Huh. I guess there was something about the collision boxes of the buildings that was causing a problem there. We still have a couple of units up on the wall who can be in good fighting position on these guys. May as well heal you up. And yeah, the archers can just like stand at the edge of the wall and fire downward, and that's fine. And it's looking to me like this is probably the time where we could choose to go take the gate. So let's have all of you guys form up over here. Actually, all of the tree men can be doing this. Sisters get in front. Yeah, now we can break the gate and just move our units through, and they're actually in a really bad spot to deal with that. Okay, do I need you guys to get out of there? Probably. We're probably not going to deal with these enemies fast enough. Let's swing this way. So this is the direction we're already facing, so we will run there faster. Okay, hero did a bad job. You know what? We can just land. I'm just gonna go over. I'm just gonna land over here and. You know what? That's not. Never mind. Don't do that. Go ahead and shoot them. There's like knights down there and stuff. That's still not a good idea. Alright, this might be an overcommitment. Let's do it. Let's cast some spells. Let's break some hearts. Hey, dragon. We could use your assistance over here in the town square. Alright, break these guys. Okay. The charge is maybe a little much, but whatever. If it kills him, it kills him. He's got to get you out of there before the counter charge, because those horses are coming. Alright, we got back in the air quickly enough. So let's pull you guys out to here. Just do like some dragon breath. Okay, good enough, good enough. All these units are permanently broken, so this is the part where the units that have taken the side streets get to press in and create a lot of pressure this way, while we continue to very, very slowly provide pressure on this side. Can we get the units that have gotten onto the wall over to here, please? All right, the trees are coming. They're already beating on the door. Yeah, at this point, the whole deal is take the town square, right? Obviously, we have paid pretty dearly for the opportunity, but this is the time for that thing. So you guys want to get over here. We've taken the towers. Okay. Well, I'm going to cast another regrowth anyway. Okay, so they broke. They broke before the final thrust of the plan there. It was expensive, but it could have been a lot worse, and if we had auto-resolved, it would have been a lot worse. That was definitely one where the auto-resolver was going to act against us significantly. So, if we leave Otrolio in this position, the two Border Prince's armies that we can see with Versio will not be able to reach him. As far as we know, the dwarves don't have any other stuff in the area either. It might be safe. This might be a good turn to just burn this down, get it done with, and then retreat to actually fighting in the forest. And if we do that, we're going to be well north of 50 forest health. We're going to be in really good shape on getting this forest back up. I think the ugliest part of this is definitely going to be the actual ritual. Especially since we will not really be in good position to send people out to disrupt the enemy forces while they're still forming up. Burn it. Burn it all. Okay, a War Dancer Drummer, that's fine. Got a crummy sword. A non-crummy piece of armor. Boy, you're not immortal. That's a little concerning. And you are so close. I'm going to be so bummed out if we end up losing this character before that can happen. But also, Forest Dragon. That seems pretty smart. Seems like you ought to have one of those. And then, I'm not going to bother with Transformation, probably. So let's get Amber Spear, maybe? I mean, Flock of Doom is really good against the humans that we'll be facing. It will be a lot less good against the dwarves, obviously, but Amber Spear is sort of like a character sniping ability. It's like a great big magic javelin.
Beginning my journey.
And I don't know. I don't think it's a bad spell, but let's do it this way. Let's start this way. So Forest of Gloom at 76, actually. Really good work so far. And we should be now positive every turn. Right, because 4 of the Heathlands are dead and 1 of them survives. We're 1 turn off of completing the Roots of Gyran, and then we're going to need a couple more turns. We will have enough Kindreds to start the next upgrade immediately, but we'll need a couple more turns before it's finished. So we're going to hit this, like, in a turn or two. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. It's just surviving the ritual. So everybody's healing as much as they need to be healing. Let's run 1 sequence of enemy turns here, and then we will call it for the day. We're going to be a lot slower getting through these individual turns as we have to manually fight so many of these battles. Hopefully, this makes it a little clearer for people who were uncertain why I auto-resolved as many battles as I did over the course of the campaign, because, man, playing them manually really does slow you down. Please tell me we can't see any Reichland armies. Oh, that's Volkmar the Grim. Okay, well... This is... yeah, Otrolio's dead. I'm looking at this and trying to determine whether I think it's even worth fighting. It is probably worth fighting. I do not think we could possibly win, but we should really maximize the damage we deal. So, I'm going to call this right here for today, and thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we're going to start the episode by doing as much damage to Volkmar as we can on our way out, and sadly, Otrolio's probably going to be actually killed in the battle. But after that, sweet, sweet vengeance. And we'll see you then.